time is here, let's gather round and travel in our minds so far and free to once upon a time, that's where things happen. Come along with me and see. Come on, everybody, gather round. Today's story is called The Fisherman and His Wife, starring the fisherman and his wife and the fish. Doesn't look much like a fish yet, does it?
Not yet, but he will.
Coming around there, there's his legs, not his legs, his tail.
No, his tail. That's right.
Now, that's just regular chalk you're using, right?
Well, it's a little special. These are big lecturer's chalks, but they're just like soft pastels or somewhat like the chalk you use on the blackboard. But don't use these on the blackboard. It would hurt.
They'd be too soft.
Yes, they'd be too soft, but they're very much like it.
Now, when did you start drawing and doing stuff like this?
Oh, my goodness. I started drawing as soon as I could hold a pencil when I was a baby.
Yeah.
And I've just kept doing it ever since. And I used to be the kind of kid who always had drawings all around my homework papers. Whatever I did, I had to draw on it. And the teachers were very good about it.
They never got angry?
No. As long as I kept it out of the mathematics, and didn't let it get in the way of that, why, they let me draw all I wanted to if I got my homework done.
It's the fin putting on there.
I know.
There's so many drawings. How many drawings are there going to be in the Fisherman story? How many?
I would say around 20.
20 drawings.
Is the usual number we've been doing for these. There's some...
There's his mustaches. No.
No.
There's his...
Upside down birds.
No.
Scales, maybe?
Scales,
Yes,
maybe.
Scales. Yes.
He's blind. The fish doesn't have any eyes.
Oh!
Oh, there I
He
am.
always worries when I put the eye in last. But
Thank you for my eye. That's the kind of voice that one's gonna have.
Yes, he does.
Thank you very much. I am the fish of the sea. Yes. There goes your hard
That's
one.
important. You make such good characters in your voices. I like to be very careful to make my characters, my drawn characters, go with your voice characters. Because you draw a character with your voice, you know.
Yeah. Well, what you do, you're an artist, right? Or...
That's right. But I'm a special kind of artist. When I do this kind of work, I'm an illustrator.
And what's that?
An illustrator is an artist that has to make his drawings go with the story. And we're very special about that.
And you have to follow what the story says and what
exactly.
I say about the fish.
Yes. And
So it helps tell the story more by seeing it.
that's right.
Well,
That's
there goes
right.
some purple.
Yeah.
That is a pretty fish.
Yeah. Fishes are pretty.
Yeah.
You look at them and they have beautiful, shiny, we call it iridescent fins and things.
Look at that. Like that. Very pretty fish.
There we are. And I'll put in a little seaweed.
Seaweed. The black snakes came up and they were going to eat the snake.
Seaweed!
Keep those snakes away from me. There's a seaweed.
They are kind of snaky.
Don't worry. Yeah, they are.
They are kind of snaky.
Oh, more one there. So.
Yeah.
You do that so fast. Now, it'd take me, if I could do it at all, it'd take me about a day to do it. How can you so fast?
Well, I didn't always draw this fast. I had to practice a lot. And then with practice.
It just speeds it up.
That's right. That's right.
Do you like doing it?
Yes, I love it. Do you like telling stories?
Yeah, I love it.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
it's
do.
fun to
I'm
do.
sure you do.
It's the easiest kind of work when you don't have to, well, when you like it. It's always
Yes,
hard,
yes.
but it's fun, too.
I think working at something that you like is the most fun in the world.
There goes more sea going in
More
there.
sea.
And this paper, this is just like at a shopping center or a
That's
grocery
right.
store.
It's just the same kind of paper they use in paper bags or it's wrapping paper. That's what it is. It's nice to work on.
Yeah, it is.
And lots of schools have it in the schools.
Now, today's story is called The Fisherman and His Wife, and it really deals with the idea of being greedy. What's being greedy? It's wanting 5 oranges when all you really need is 1. It's wanting 10 gallons of ice cream when all you really need is just 1 little bowl. It's wanting something more than what you really need. And this fisherman's wife, Boy, was she ever greedy. Now, on one fair morning when the sky and the sea were trying to see who was more beautiful, a fisherman pulled a big fish out of the water. "Please, please, good fisherman, let me go. Somebody's playing a trick on me, making me believe I have a talking fish." And he looked behind the rocks, but nobody else was there. "I'm not really a fish, you see. I'm really an enchanted prince, and you'd best let me go. I'm not even fit for cooking. I'd give anybody who ate me a bad case of hiccups." Ooh, I could never eat a talking fish. So the fisherman let the fish go. When the fisherman went home that night, he sat down to a good supper of fine tea and wild rice and shrimp, and he told his wife about the talking fish.
But didn't you make a wish?
Make a wish? What would I do that for?
You live here with me in this miserable hovel with nothing but rushes for walls and dirt for a floor and have nothing to wish for?
Well, it is dry enough and warm enough in our fair climate. It's all we need. Our life here is simple and good.
Not good enough. Go back and tell the fish I want to live in a lovely little house with bamboo walls and real wood floors with nice mats on them.
Well, the fish will not like it. I did not free him just to get a wish.
Well, if it wasn't for me, we would never amount to anything. Now go.
Well, by the time the fisherman reached the shore, some clouds had come into the sky and the sea had turned dark. "Fish, fish, oh, grant my wish. It's for my wife, because my life can only be a misery until my bride is satisfied." The fish came swimming up and said, "Well, what does she want?" "Well, she tells me that when I caught you, I should have wished for a lovely little house with bamboo walls and a real wood floor with nice mats on them." "Well, is that what you want?" "We were happy with our rush hut, I thought. But now I find that it is not so. My wife is unhappy. I must do what I can to please her." "Well, go home. She has her wish." And the fisherman went home and found it so.
Wash your feet before you come in on our beautiful floors.
"I hope, wife, you are now content."
Well, we will see about that.
The next morning, the wife said,
Go tell the fish I'm tired of living in this little house. I wish to live in a big house with tile roof and airy balconies.
"The fish will not like it."
If it wasn't for me, we'd never amount to anything. Now go.
By the time the fisherman reached the shore, clouds had covered the sun. A chilly wind blew and waves wrinkled the sea. "Fish, fish, oh, grant my wish. It's for my wife, because my life can only be a misery until my bride is satisfied." The fish came swimming up and said, "Well, what does she want?" "Well, she wants a big house with a tile roof and airy balconies." She does she? Very well, go home. She has her wish." His wife saw him coming from one of the balconies.
Go to the back door and wash your feet. I'll bring your stockings to wear. Then you must wear shoes over them outdoors and take the shoes off indoors like other fine people who live in fine houses like this.
Well, that night they ate with silver chopsticks instead of the bamboo ones he was used to, and the food kept slipping off.
You must learn better manners, husband.
"I hope, wife, that you are now content."
We will see about that.
And the next morning the wife said,
Go tell the fish I'm tired of this house. I want a grand palace, and I want to be king.
"The fish will not like it."
If it wasn't for me, we'd never amount to anything. Now go.
By the time the fisherman reached the shore, the wind blew harder, and there were whitecaps on the sea. "Fish, fish, oh, grant my wish. It's for my wife, because my life can only be a misery until my bride is satisfied." The fish came swimming up and said, "Now what?" "A palace. She wants a palace, and she wants to be king." "King? King? Oh, well, very well, very well. Go home. She has her wish." The fisherman went to the back door where a tall servant met him, looking ever so proper at him down his long nose.
What do you want?
I can't say I'm the king's husband. He wouldn't believe me.
I brought Her Majesty a fine fish, please, sir.
And he politely took off his shoes by the door. He was taken to the throne room where his wife ordered that they be left alone. She dressed him in some fine clothes, and they had supper with golden chopsticks, which were also slippery. It was hard for him to hold on to the food.
You look better in your new clothes, but your manners are still dreadful, husband.
I hope, wife, you are now content.
We will see about that.
The next morning, the wife said,
Go tell the fish I'm tired of this little palace.
Little palace, this! Oh, wife, what more could...
A bigger palace with towers into the clouds, and I will be emperor.
The fish will not like it.
If it wasn't for me, well, you know how it would be. Now go.
By the time the fishermen reached the shore, the sea boiled angrily between the rocks and foamed across the sand. There was distant thunder, and the black clouds piled up on the horizon.
Fish, oh, grant me my wish. It's for my wife, because my life can only be a misery until my bride is satisfied.
The fish came swimming up and said,
Now? Oh, fish, a bigger palace with towers into the clouds. She wants to be emperor.
I do think it's as far as she can go.
I should certainly hope so. Go home. She has her wish.
The fisherman was met by a servant who had even finer clothes than the one he had been dressed in at the last castle.
I've been ordered to look out for a very ordinary man and take him to the emperor. Come along with me and remember to bow very low in her presence.
Buried in magnificent jeweled silk and brocade clothing, he found his wife sitting on the most glorious throne in all the world. She ordered him dressed in equally magnificent clothing, which was so thick and heavy he could hardly move. They ate supper with the fanciest, slipperiest jade chopsticks, intricately carved and set with diamonds and rubies. Well, his food slipped off of them onto his coat.
Honestly.
Oh, I hope, wife, that you are now content.
No, we will see about that.
The next morning, the wife said,
Go tell the fish.
No more. There is nothing more.
Yes, there is too. I want to control the sun and moon and all of nature.
No mortal can control the sun and the moon.
Go.
No.
Go,
The fish
go.
won't like it at all.
By the time the fishermen reached the shore, it was raining. The waves pounded, the wind howled, the thunder growled, the lightning crackled from the heavens.
Fish, grant me my wish. It's a bitter task. I hate to ask. My wife, you guessed. One more request?
The fish came swimming up and said, Name it.
Fish. I can hardly say this. She wants to control the sun and the moon and all of nature.
And that is asking too much. That, my friend, is one wish too many. No more wishes. No more wishes. No more wishes. The fisherman went home, kicked off his shoes and stockings, walked in the door without having to wash his feet, took off the heavy brocaded clothes, and sat down to a good cup of tea and a fine meal of rice and shrimp, which didn't slide off his bamboo chopsticks. Story time is done, and so goodbye, until it's time to gather round again. It's kind of hard to wait, but we will try, and hope that we will see you then.